Mic check, mic check.
Mic check, mic check. Can you hear me?
Welcome to the Moor Culture Podcast. Welcome back. Back for another episode. And yeah, we're live. This is the first time we've been live in a while, so I'm super excited, Mo. I'm excited. I'm here. Your host, Brother Tyshan Edwards Bey. I'm here with my co-host, Brother Shariff Bey, Brother Najee Bey. Islam, welcome.
Islam.
Islam. Happy Holy Day. It is Holy Day. Today is Thursday, but every day is Holy Day. Islam, when you walk with the Prophet. Islam. I want to greet everybody with peace. Islam, Assalamu alaikum, Alafia, Yonio, Hotep, Shalom, Rahu Bat, Namaste. Islam, it all means peace. And in true Moorish fashion, just want to make sure we start with our praises and honors. Brother Sharif, Elder, Sheikh, will you have us start us off with your praises and honors, please?
Yes, I'd like to give all the divine and perfect praises to Almighty Allah, Lord of the worlds, and all high honors to the Moorish Science Temple of America, high honors to the Nation of Islam, high honors to UNIA, high honors to all my brothers and sisters out there. That's for the work of uplifting the fallen humanity to bring us together as a people and forming an economy. And high honors to all our great teachers. Some that they don't mention, but we come from a line of teachers, and we can't depend on people to teach us who we are. We have to know who we are. And every day we're self-actualizing and find out who we are. It's a lifetime process. Peace.
Peace. I like to give honor to the creator of the universe. I like to give honor to the creator that he created. The only portal that we could come through is through the womb of a woman. I like to give honor to all the virtuous women that they may show the other ones this path, that they may walk the righteous path and try to be more on the path of their higher self and not their lower self, that we may have a future. And I like to give praise to all those who are uplifting fallen humanity. Peace.
Peace.
Islam, at the rise on the spirit of the seven, and give all praises to Allah. Give high honors to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, high honors to the forerunner, Marcus Messiah Garvey, high honors to all past and present leadership of the Moorish Science Temple of America, and high honors to all true and divine prophets of Allah that stand on the square of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Islam, and high honors to all Moors worldwide, known and unknown. Islam, and high honors to all of our ancestors and everybody that paved the way for us to be here. Islam, we're back, episode 32. This is episode 32. We haven't been live since episode 21. I just checked. So 11 episodes we did not go live, but we're back for a live. So hopefully we have willing, inshallah, we have some modes, somebody comment, we can interact. But we also wanted to touch on some comments we had before. We've been getting a lot of comments. So that's part of something we've been planning on speaking on, is just going over those comments and responding to some people. So we'll get into that at some point today.
Well,
go ahead.
I wanted to get to the point of one of the comments was saying something about the story of Cain and Abel. That's a good story of Cain and Abel, but what you got to understand is the stories in the Bible are allegories, and fables. So the story that I tell has been passed down through my ancestors, and my ancestors been on this land for over 200,000 years. So we were here first before those stories were even created. So I'm going to go with what my people are saying and not what the Europeans may have co-opted, and the Caucasians may have co-opted and probably put a little of their sorcery into it. So that's the story I'm going for, is what my ancestors say, because they have pictures of us riding dinosaurs. So you take it the way you want to, but this is our story, and this is a story that was passed down to my ancestors. So if you want to believe whatever you want to believe, and I'll just know what I know.
Islam.
Islam.
This session is for educational purpose only. I talked before about the Crusades. I never knew about the Crusades until I went to school, college, and my professors told me about the Crusades because Muslims just was not teaching it. But now I find out that the Crusades have a mass on it. So we had to come and retreat, and our unity is very important. We differ. The Holy Quran says, by stages and degrees shall we teach you to declare this message. We're going to have our differences, but we as a people have to learn how to iron out our differences because we live in a system that try to take out our manhood and they want to become the alpha male. So if you believe in Allah on the last day, you stand for that which is right. If you see an injustice, you speak out on that injustice. So the way they treat us as a people is unjust. So if we don't do what we're supposed to do, they're trying to make us a permanent underclass. So I want to read some things about the Doctrine of Discovery, which is a part of the Crusades.
Excuse me, Mo.
Go ahead.
Are we still going through the Crusades?
Yes, sir.
And what do the police say?
The police say, hold
And do what? What else they tell you?
up your hands. Then you're on the cross.
You're on the cross. The nail here, nail here.
Yep.
Nail here,
Fingernail,
nail
toenails, something like that. And
So your crusades are still going on with their criminal justice system.
and they took and fed you the lie that they crucified Jesus on the cross. This is open for discussion because the Muslims recognize Jesus, but the Quran said they crucified him not. He was risen up in our presence. They crucified Judas instead. So the crucifixion also is a lesson for us when they say they crucify him on the cross, and even though when you go to court, they cross-examine and so forth and so on.
Cross-examine.
So we're being crossed up on many angles.
So it goes to show you that their religion and their criminal justice system is all in one. Go ahead, Mo.
So we live in a very beautiful, extraordinary time when we can come forth as righteous brothers and clear up this mess because people don't want to see you stand upright. When you stand upright, they're scared of you.
That's the truth.
And you armed with that truth because the enemy don't like truth. But I want to read some things about the Doctrine of Discovery, which is whereas the Mass today. It was written by it was ordered by the Papal Bull, Pope Nicholas V. Wherefore as becomes Catholic kings and princes after earnest consideration of all matters, especially of the end spread of the Catholic faith. Can you read it for me, Bo? Read that. Read the paragraph. Read all that. No, read all of
it. Excerpt. Wherefore, as becomes Catholic kings and princes, after earnest consideration of all matters, especially of the rise and spread of the Catholic faith, as was the fashion of your ancestors, kings of renowned memory, ye have purposed, with the favor of divine clemency, to bring under your sway the said mainlands and islands with the residents and inhabitants, to bring them to the Catholic faith. Hence, heartily commending in the Lord this your holy and praiseworthy purpose, and desirous that it be duly accomplished, and that the name of our Savior be carried into those regions. We exhort you very earnestly in the Lord, and by your reception of holy baptism, whereby you are bound to our apostolic commands, and by the bowels of the mercy of our Lord Jesus Christ, enjoy strictly that, inasmuch as with eager zeal for the true faith you design to equip and dispatch this expedition, you purpose also, as is your duty, to lead the peoples dwelling in those islands and countries to embrace the Christian religion. nor at any time let dangers or hardships deter you therefore, with the stout hope and trust in your hearts that Almighty God will further your undertakings. And in order that you may enter upon so great an undertaking with greater readiness and heartiness, endowed with benefit of our apostolic favor, we of our own accord, not at your instance, nor the request of anyone else in your regard, but out of our own soul larges and certain knowledge, and out of the fullness of our apostolic power, by the authority of Almighty God, conferred upon us in blessed Peter, of the vicership of Jesus Christ, which we hold on earth, due by tenor of these presents, should any of said islands have been found by your envoys and captains, give, grant, and assign to you and your heirs and successors, kings of Castile and Leon, forever, together with all the dominions, cities, camps, places, and villages, and all rights, jurisdictions, and appurtenances, all islands and mainlands found and to be found, discovered and to be discovered toward the west and south, by drawing and establishing a line from the Arctic Pole, namely the north, to the Arctic Pole, namely the south, no matter whether the said mainlands and islands are found and be found in the direction of India or towards any other quarter, the said line to be distant on 100 leagues towards the west and south from any of the islands commonly known as Azores.
That's good. That's
and
good.
Cape Verde.
That's good.
Mo, I feel like this is all one sentence. This is ridiculous.
Right, but all right. So,
but basically, they're saying, "Hey, we're just going to take whatever you want because God."
This is the Crusades, right? Now, these places that this order is going out against is against Muslims. That's the crucifixion. These islands have Muslims. To make make my point clear, you can't go nowhere on earth and find a civilization was founded by Christians.
That's true.
California was named after Queen Khalifa. You know, so all these places that they're conquering, it's Christian territories. This make up the Crusades.
The Crusades, and
but it's still going on today because a lot of us are asleep. This is the day of the grand resurrection, when because the Holy Quran says Allah is closer to you in the jugular vein and stuff. It's time for you to get up and speak with clearness, power, and authority against all the injustices on earth.
Because remember what I told you, they always would come to your country, and they would always send in missionaries, and the missionaries were also spies. But the thing about this was they sent you the missionaries to accept their form of Christianity, which is bogus. The whole thing is bogus, and they created it themselves with Caesar Borgia and all. But the second thing they come in is the bullet. So you have the Bible or the bullet. But any country they try to defeat, first they would defeat you spiritually. And once you're broken spiritually, then they could come in and just take your land and your natural resources because you have put them up in your belief. See, we have a belief system and we have a knowing system. That's why the Bible say, know the truth and it'll set you free, not believe. Nothing never says believe. Because believe, if you break down the word believe, it says believe means to be lied to be lied to, V-I-E, vi. The whole lesson here is that the system was of their white supremacy because this is what they were spreading, their Christianity. And right now they're saying white nationalists is the Bible or the bullet.
Still the Crusade. Still the Crusade.
Still the Crusade.
Another interesting point that a lot of people never discuss, like because we're talking about the Crusades, and it's gone. When I studied the Quran, and it says, bow down to Adam. Iblis was one of the haughty ones. He refused. He said, I'm not bowing down to that chump. He was made of clouds, made of scorching winds. Allah said, get out here, you rejected one. Iblis prayed. He said, Allah grant me respite. And Allah granted him, grant him respite. He said, I will come at them, stand the straight way and come at them for appointed term. I will come from their left and their right, and before them, behind them, ambush them. Now, when he comes from your left and right, that's back to the crusade. That's a cross.
That's a cross.
He comes to the scorching winds of passions. Like you see, all them liquor stores in our community and stuff, that firewood and stuff, sex, cigarettes, anger, etc., etc. We've been off our dean for ages.
They're all part of the lower self.
Yes, and once we get back on our deans and stuff, they'll go away.
Because then you'll be dealing with them on your higher frequency. See, those things of the world, like lust and not love, love is of the higher self. Lust is of the lower self. Once they can get you to deal on the lower vibrations, your lower self, then they can conquer you and they can take your spirit.
Real quick, on this note right here, let's go into something you said you want to talk about, Mo, was Christmas. Today is December 25th.
Yes,
hold on. Today is December 25th. This is what they call Christmas.
Yes.
It's dealing with the higher self, lower self, dealing with lust.
Well,
what have you say about this day?
December 25th, Nimrod was born on December 25th, and they said he was the founding father, witchcraft and all, sorcery and all that stuff like that, and he had sex with his own mom, and they produced a child, and they called it Tammuz. So that story came all the way down to Jesus and the Virgin Mary, so forth and so on.
And also,
but it all goes back, and the planet worship, his mom Semiramis also symbolized Diana, the god of the moon. So it goes into Greek mythology too.
And also, Mo, I wanted to say that during the time of Nimrod, when Nimrod had died, his mother figured that they would not follow her anymore. So she walked out, and she was walking through the forest, and she seen an evergreen tree. And the evergreen tree was the only tree alive in the forest. And she said, this is the resurrection of Nimrod.
All right, now he's going to go to Jeremiah 10, and then you're going to read about the tree. And so it's a shame because people practice all these holidays, and they don't say nothing about the holidays in the Bible.
That's right. And
also, and they make people think that it's religion and it's sorcery.
That is sorcery.
And you're going to be held accountable for what you do. I mean, when you know, that's one thing. When you don't know, that's another thing. But I'm sharing with you, people out there, about our people, that we should stop asking other people when to take a holiday. We want to take a holiday. We have our own holiday. We don't take on their traditions or their culture
or their language
or their customs, because that is a sin.
That's right.
But for them to call these days holidays, they made it completely into a commercialized capitalization type of situation.
Right.
Like why are you making a holy day into a day of just money?
Right. Because
a day of just
to them,
greed.
A holy day is a holiday.
Right.
A holy day and a holiday is the same day with them. Like when I talked about the tree, the people start bringing the gifts to the tree, saying, okay, this is Nimrod. These are pagan holidays that the church, in order to get more recruitment, they had to mix to get the pagan armies on their side, they had to mix their form of Christianity in with the pagans. So each holiday that you celebrating is actually a pagan holiday.
Of course.
And so, like, this is Christmas. You got Santa Claus. Santa Claus spelled backwards is Satan's claws.
Satan's claws.
And when they sing that song, Jingle Bell, Shock and Shell, Jingle All the Way, and the reindeers should have bells on their neck that represent bells, so you know where the slave is, where he can't run away, and the slave master be cracking the whip.
That's
so
true.
It's a shame because our women, because when I was younger, I used to get Christmas all the time and stuff until at a time. I said, Mom, how come you don't do Christmas anymore? She said, son, that's a holiday of the merchants. So we had to stop promoting their crap for them.
For real.
And Santa Claus, he loves little boys sitting on his lap, so forth and so on.
That's right. That's pedophilia and a lot of other things. These people have you worshiping Satan. They don't have you worshiping the Creator, because the Creator that created you is inside of you.
And a lot of you people act like we've never been through no type of oppression. you come back and fall into the same traps. You don't want to come up out of darkness and the marvelous light. You keep trying to justify it when it says it right in the Bible. Read Jeremiah 10, Mo. Here it is right here.
Jeremiah 10 says, you're talking about, I'm guessing 3 to 4, which says...
No, keep read about mostly all of it.
Okay. So
Where my plans go, I'll read.
Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. For the customs of the people are vain. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workmen with the axe. They deck it with silver and with gold, they fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not. They are upright as a palm tree, but speak not. They must needs be born, because they cannot go. But be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil, neither also is it in them to do good. For as much as there is none like unto thee, O Lord, thou art great, and thou thy name is great in might.
That's it.
Yeah.
But that's telling you right there.
Yeah, people are vain, and they're cutting this tree to add gold and silver to it.
What that sound like to you?
It is talking about these trees that they cut
right.
out the forest.
So here we are. You take along the customs of the same people who oppressed you for 400 years, and you smiling, and you keep doing it deceitfully, and you wonder why we ain't progressing in this place, because we're not of the same pedigree. You got to leave that culture alone.
And how can you sit up and complain when you're the fuel? You're fueling this. You're giving this the energy. Yeah. And that's why your situation is still the same. You're giving most of the holidays are commercial and pagan. So they have you worshiping Satan, and at the same time, they're draining your funds away from you. But don't complain about your situation if you're funding it. You're funding your own genocide.
And with our women, a lot of our women think in order to reach womanhood, they got to act like them.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that is not true.
They co-op our women for real, because the women feel like, they're the mothers and the nurturers, and they have a emotional sensitivity, and they feel like they're let their kids.
We say doing it for the children.
Doing it for the children. We say ableist works for the passions.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah. With your emotions, see, the women, their excuse would be, and what other people's excuse would be, oh, I'm doing it for the children. No, you're doing it because you don't know why you're doing it. Basically, we're doing things because we're ignorant. Yeah. And if you don't know these facts and know these connections and how to navigate through these obstacles that they put up and these blindfolds, because they have you blinded, they have these things on you where you can only look straight. And when you look straight, you follow their agenda. That's what the programs were on the Matrix.
And we're great, beautiful people. And if you come up out of that Matrix, their customs, stop serving their customs, you'll find out you're in a whole entirely different world.
A whole different world.
You won't even be having the problems that you generally have.
That's real.
That's right.
Because your conditions change. Like the Holy Quran says, never does Allah change the conditions of people till they change within their heart. So we can't keep living like somebody who done invaded our territory and oppressed us for 400 years, really generations after generation they oppressed us. Then we have people that look like us, help them with the oppression.
And when you spend on these holidays, each one of these holidays are connected to the several deadly sins. When you participate in these holidays, you're funding and fueling these corporations, and these corporations don't have any good intentions for anybody.
No.
So all our orders, circles out there, we've been through a lot, and so we're paying money into their holy days where we can have our own holy days and stuff, and shift the economy right on around.
That's right.
Bring the money back home.
Bring the money back.
Stop hating on your brothers and sisters and start loving.
And stop giving them your fuel. They need your energy.
And you don't have to look like them in order to demonstrate your womanhood. You're gifted, you're beautiful anyway.
That's right.
You don't have to kill your hair. Your hair ain't got to be straightened.
That's right. And these are energy vampires.
Once I heard Minister Farrakhan say, "Cleanse yourself with leprosy, whiteness of the mind."
That's right.
It's I find it really bothers me to this day of watching Asiatics, Native, North American, African Americans, whatever you want to call them, in his land, give gifts to their children and then tell them that it was given to them by a pale skinned European.
Yeah.
And it's not much different at all than the pale skinned Jesus. Like you
They're
have
not-
this
they're not
baby.
They're not Europeans.
Okay.
You know,
They're Caucasians.
They're Caucasians.
We
Okay.
got to
Islam.
call them what they are.
Islam.
When they said that, and this is something I wanted to clear up too, Caucasians, for some reason, when they said that some of us are mixed with Europeans, the Europeans that came here looked at just like us. They weren't them. They're not Europeans.
Turks
They're
too.
Caucasians.
and the Turks too.
And the Turks too. So,
we're the. I'm sorry, my brother.
go ahead, Mo. Go ahead.
We're the true inhabitants of Mecca,
That's
Saudi
right.
Arabia. All that was our territory until they start practicing what you call genetic warfare.
All right. And remember, the first Europeans were the Jamoldi people.
Okay.
And they looked just like us. They weren't them. So when the Europeans that we first let come here were looking like us, and they spoke our language.
And Adam means black mud.
And they were not Caucasians. Let's make that clear. So when these foolish people sit up there, these people are mediocre. They're not researchers. They're ignorant. So when they came out of Caucasus Mountains, they had no names. They had no language. They could not even stand upright. They crawled on all four. So when you hear these idiots talking about 20%, black people have 20% of us and the Europeans in them. It's not them. They were never the Europeans, and they still aren't the Europeans, but people try to give them that little bit of gratification by saying that they're Europeans, but they're not. They're Caucasians. So stop. Part of the breaking the spell and breaking their sorcery is calling them what nature designed for them. See, when I said we need to go back to nature and go back to nature, in nature they were called Caucasians, Amorites. And what's the other term?
Reptilians,
Not that one. The other one we were
Albions.
Albions
Troglodytes.
and troglodytes. These are the names that they were called. They weren't called white, and we weren't called black. There's nowhere in history you can find anybody talking about some people that were black. Black is part of the sorcery and the spell that they put on you.
Yeah,
And it's a war crime.
and you also have people, all skin folk and kinfolk, coaching us to go in that direction. And it's the hellfire, as Martin Luther King said, "I'm afraid I integrated the people into a burning house." That's the hellfire.
That's the hellfire, because remember, at all times, their criminal justice system and their religion are the same thing. That they practice totally the same thing. And as I told y'all, that their jurisdiction, the only jurisdiction that we allowed the Caucasian to have was Washington, D.C., 10 miles in and 10 miles out. This is an advertisement of a watch. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
I hope you all can see this. This is a watch. This watch say 1010. Any watch that they have that's made in this country will say 1010. And that's the only jurisdiction we gave them. And this is the secrets of the Masons. Mm-hmm. Remember, Mason means my son. That's what we taught them when we gave them 33 degrees of knowledge, because some of them were coming down off the Caucasus Mountains and they didn't have full leprosy.
All four.
So we start teaching them. When we picked them up, we taught them to stand up straight and not on all fours, because they used to crawl around. They had no names, so don't be sitting up there getting caught up in that, oh, we got their names. They didn't have names. We had titles, and we gave it to them, and the titles and the names that they have and the slaves had is the names that we always had.
And one of the names were one of our names was Berber, but they took the E out and put A, which is barber, and we started cutting their hair, and to take them out to get haircuts and so forth.
Wow.
That's right. That's right. So any watch you see is 1010, and these people are practicing sorcery and witchcraft on you. And when you're practicing their holidays, you're giving them the energy to keep doing the same old thing too.
And that's why we say A'udhu Billahi min Shaitan Rajim, or A'udhu Birabinas, Malakinas, Elahinas, Mention Waswaso Kanas, Elazi Waswisu, Feast, Adarinas, Menadinati, Wanas. I seek refuge, Lord of Dawn, from the mission of creative things, from the mission of the great dark night as overspread, from the mission of those who practice secret arts, and the mission of the envious one who practice envy.
Yeah, so stop paying these corporations for your own demise, because basically that's what we're doing. When we're giving them money, they're giving it to Israel and other places like this. Israel is never a country. Israel is the people, and that's us.
And so we say we represent something, and we stand and we let them people give our tax dollars away like that. That ain't right.
Israel means Isis, Ra, and El.
Right.
That's us. And when we're giving these people our tax dollars, and it's taxation without representation.
It can't even address homeless here,
That's
here
right.
in America.
That's right. They giving Israel.
We still got Skid Row.
Well, these people that claim to be these Caucasians, because they're not Israelis, because we're the ancient Israelis, and we are the ancient Hebrews. There was never a place called Israel. Israel was the people, and that's us. So these people gave them 187 million. Each state got funds that go out to these people who got free health care, free education, and our people are living on the streets. So stop paying these things. Stop participating in the downfall of humanity, because these people are the biggest threat to humanity, Caucasians all over the world. Now, like I said in the beginning, we're not talking about all of them, because some of them have the light in them. See, when you walking down the street and you see a Caucasian, the first thing they do is turn their head and look at the ground. It's not that they can't look at you, it's that they can't look at that light, and the light is the truth, and that's why they can't look at it.
Proof of what they did, like at church on Sunday in slavery, they used to have called a picnic or a picnic, and we always go say, let's have a picnic. And so after the picnic and stuff, they had auctions, and at the auction, at the picnic, guess who was on the menu?
You were.
That's right.
See, when I tell you that we have divine powers, we have divine powers. We all do. But you have to tap into that higher self to get that divine power. Now, a classic example of that is the ICE agents in New Orleans. The ICE agents in New Orleans are getting sick and everything else because the people are putting spells on these people. You can put spells and curses on these people, and it will affect them biologically and emotionally. That's the only weapon we need against our enemies.
Also, a shout out to all American-born Muslims. That you have a lot of things happening abroad, like United Arab Emirates attack in Sudan, stealing the gold, so forth and so on, and different Muslim terrorist groups. We're not a part of that.
That's right.
Their fight is not our fight. We have our fight here in America.
And
we got to get our act here together in America and start loving on one another.
We got
and become a strong brotherhood. Because united we stand, divided we fall.
That's right. And
we're going to have our differences, but we got to iron out our differences. That's what manhood's about.
And we're the only natural people on this planet.
When I was a child, I thought as a child, understood as a child, spake as a child. That's what the Bible said. When I was a child, I thought as a child, spake as a child, understood as a child. When I became a man, I put away all childish things.
So now it's time for us to be men.
Build the brotherhood.
It's time for us to be men and stand up for and be accountable for our mission that we have ahead of us, because we have a strong mission ahead of us. And like I said, nature is on your side, because we are the only natural people on this earth. We created the Caucasian. We created them from the Neanderthal, like I told you before. We created them from our gene and their gene. Our people was genealogists, and we were looking for a way to create, and we were creating these beings. And what we did was we took the gene from ourselves and the gene from a Neanderthal, which we already created, but they couldn't have children.
And
So what we did was we took that gene from us and the gene from the Neanderthal, and we placed it into our woman, into our indigenous woman, and she created the race of these Caucasians. It wasn't something, the land and the temperature in Europe and the ice age. It had nothing to do with that because you got Eskimos that are darker than me.
So
you know, y'all know something real deep? Did y'all know, what y'all think, did y'all know Jesus studied Islam?
Yeah, I know that.
Where does it say it in the Bible? Y'all know where it says?
I don't know.
When he said peace come on to you.
He said, peace on earth and goodwill towards men.
That's right.
So that's for all you people that try to think that Jesus was studying Islam and stuff. You're wrong. He's saying it right. He's speaking it. Peace on earth and goodwill towards men.
That's right. In order
And how you say Islam, and Islam is Arabic, right? Peace is English, but peace is the English word for Islam or salam.
That's
Not
right.
salam.
Yep.
That's one of Allah's names.
And when we say
The
peace
source
to
of
you,
peace.
we mean peace in your life, peace in your mind, and peace in your home.
Mhm.
Peace means order. Peace means love. So always keep peace with you and always greet your brother with peace.
Islam.
That's right. So in order for you to break some of their spells and their witchcraft, you got to address these people the way, like I said, how they were made in nature. If you say white, you're giving them power because none of you ever met a white person. The turban that the brother have on, that's a white turban. The pants that the brother have on, they are black pants. There's no such people in history as black and white people. But this is part of the witchcraft that these people have, and they also implement these things into their criminal justice system. So you're no longer, black means devoid of light. You are the light.
So we really need a lot of brothers to wake up. This is, we can show you receipts because with the prison industrial complex, they're making millions of dollars.
That's right.
Off us falling off our lower self-sin and stuff. They don't charge them, but they charge us. And they make all this money off us acting stupid.
That's right. And we got to stop giving them energy because all these things that's going on in this country, the USA, it was all created from our energy.
Of course.
It wasn't created from anything that they did.
Also, as Muslims or righteous people, you be concerned about people who say they lead you. All this fasting and praying, and you let other people interact in your behalf, tax with no representation. How you say that?
Taxation without representation.
Right. So if people is not in line and order with that straight path, they don't represent you.
No, they don't represent you. These so-called representatives, they represent the United States.
In their lower self.
They're part of the white supremacist terrorist organization known as the United States, which has nothing to do with Americans, and they are not indigenous to this land. None of them are indigenous to this land. People don't only come here to become United States citizens. They don't come here to be Americans because we're Americans. We're already here. We've been here. So stop falling for it because here's some stories about how they treat our people. One brother was walking, and he walked past his neighbor's house, apartment, and he heard a big boom, boom. He heard some noises falling. Something falling inside this apartment. So he, being the concerned person that he was, knocked down the door and went inside, and the woman was on the floor, and he saved the woman's life. The first thing these people wanted to do, the district attorney, and these district attorneys, this is going to be a special project for us to use our curses and spells on these people to see, and you can see that it works all across the country.
Yeah, because
these people tried to charge this brother with breaking and entering.
Crazy.
But the judge said the brother didn't break down the door to come in there looking for TV or anything malicious.
Saving lives.
He came in there to save a life. But these people are such degenerates in their minds and in their heads, and they can't think outside the Neanderthal nature of themselves, that they wanted to charge this brother with a crime. And there was another story. This was a story that happened recently too. One brother, this brother here, a woman was walking across the street, and he ran across the street before the car came and tackled her and saved her life within seconds. He saved her life. Do you know this Caucasian wanted to charge him and sue him because she had a few bruises and broke her wrist, broke her wrist or whatever. She tried to sue this brother, and another judge seen right through their sorcery and threw it out.
And the
but this is how they feel about us. And these district attorneys are crooked as hell. They have no reason to practice.
Excuse me one second. They're foreigners.
Yeah, they're foreigners.
And they're using what you call color of law. We have the receipts.
And they're not.
Color of law is against the law. It ain't even legal. So you might say they're white. And that's the sorcery. That's against the law. So, but if you believe that and stuff, it happens to you because you're looking at them as being God.
Yeah, and these are foreigners. Whenever if you go to the immigration law, it's Title 18 USC. It says if you take an oath to any country, then you lose your citizenship here. So these people had made an oath to one thing, as we explained earlier, to the Catholic Church, to the Vatican. And another thing, they took an oath to the British government, because the bar is the British accredited registry. So they're taking an oath to that bar, and that's an oath. Once you take an oath, you lose citizenship. So we have these people who call themselves attorneys and lawyers practicing law here in our country, and they're not Americans, and they're not United States citizens because they took an oath. Whenever you go into court with these people or get ready to go into court, ask to see all their oaths. Ask to see all their oaths. And another thing you can ask them is ask them, since this is a human rights issue, because everything they're doing is war crimes and crimes against humanity. And since these are human rights issues that's going on in the world right now, especially between us and the police, it's not a civil right. The civil right is what you give your dog when you let him come into the house. These are human rights issues. Ask them what percentage of human they are and put it in your paperwork, and they have to answer it. And if they don't, if they lie, then you can sue them, because each and every one of them are 20 to 25% Neanderthal. And if they have to prove it in court, they can't. They can't prove that they're 100% natural being or 100% human. So use these advantages and use these tools that your ancestors left to fight these foreigners on our land, because that's what they are. They're foreigners, and they have no jurisdiction on our land except the jurisdiction that you give them. They have a make-believe. Their whole fixed system of color of law is a fictional system.
You know what I named the title? I didn't know what to name, because we went live, so we had to put a title and stuff. Normally I'd record the past few weeks, I would record and then upload. Now I didn't know what the title was going to be, so I made the title Coloreds, Christmas, and Colonization. So, I mean, who's the colored man?
That's right. Who is the colored man?
Well, the colored man, I texted to you that sometimes Albion, he turned pink, he turned blue,
he turned red,
pale, green, all that, and we remain our same color. So
we remain the same.
Yeah. Yeah, being colored is being not the original. I mean, we are.
Well,
it's colored.
It's something real special about melanin. Melanin is divine. It's heavenly.
And that's your connection with nature.
Yes, it's your connection to the divine.
That's right. And
so
you had
should
the power.
Never have low self-esteem, because the melanin is electricity that runs to you. It's the sunlight that runs to you.
And everything they do.
The sun don't like everybody.
And everything they do is currency. Currency is frequency, and frequency is vibrations. And once you get the vibrations going and get that frequency out into the universe, it changes everything. And that's how you use your divine powers. We had a video that we was going to show y'all about how to use your divine powers, but somehow they got rid of it. It's not even on the internet anymore. So don't even worry about it, because you still have these powers. And if you dig deep in yourself, you can find them.
We can summarize how to, right? And
that's right.
Because when you come to life and resurrect, they're going to be scared.
They're going to be scared to death.
Because you don't even have to draw a gun. You're using your divine mind. And that's what Allah wants you to do, use your divine mind. Like I say again, we ain't a part of that mess over in Middle East, so forth and so on. I mean, it ain't no such thing as the Middle East. But what I'm saying, we have our own agenda here in America. And we got to come together for our salvation.
Although we are standing with the people that are suffering.
Yes.
We are, because if these people are telling you it's a war, it's not a war. A war is two armies fighting each other. That's the definition. There's not two armies fighting each other. And it never is with these people. It's a war against us.
The war is white supremacy against blacks.
Oh, that's here. That's what I'm talking about over there.
Yeah, it's not Palestine.
But they want to use your children to be a part of the military-industrial complex.
That's right.
Remember when the Holy Quran says, will you create one to make mischief? Will you create one in which make mischief, shed blood while we celebrate thy praises?
Mm-hmm.
And Jesus come back and said, God said, she said, if you was of Abraham's seed, you do Abraham's work. You are of your father, the devil. He's a liar, thief, and murderer from the beginning. The father of liars. And that's what all these people do. They start wars.
And they lie.
We want peace on earth.
That's right.
The people that about peace, whoever they are and stuff.
Whoever you are.
Let's push this peace.
Let's push this peace.
Because these oligarchs just keep robbing us blind.
And we have some Caucasians.
They want the poor to fight against the poor and stuff. But we make a difference here on earth when we go for peace.
And we have.
If you say you're righteous, you should want peace. If you say
right.
you believe in Allah, you should want peace. If you say you believe in Jesus, Jesus was a freedom fighter.
Islam.
And we're not free today because we keep going through this mess, this crazy stuff.
And if you want the truth, you can stand with us no matter what color you are.
That's right. Make the world better for the children.
That's right.
Don't bring the children into the ambush.
Please.
And make a world with equity for all.
Because Shaitan's coming from their left and right before me. He's trying to ambush them too.
That's right.
Please, anybody with children that are of young ages, please be on it. Please be an active parent. Please pay attention to what they're watching, not just on YouTube, but just on regular TV and everywhere, because they're trying to cast a spell. They're not trying. They are casting spells at every turn of the corner. If you're bringing them into the public schools, these teachers are casting spells, and some of them, I don't believe all of them mean harm. They don't even know any better. They're just cogs in the system. They don't even know what they're doing. They're just following along with what they're taught, and they're just going along.
Well, what's the first class you take?
Was it spelling or?
That's right, spelling class.
Counting or spelling?
The spelling class, but a lot of people, they tell you about the spelling class, but then they cast in the spells while they tell you about the spelling class.
Yeah. And why do you think?
Learn how to reverse what they throw out.
And why do you think they wear the black robes? Because Marlon the musician wore the black robes, and these people are practicing witchcraft, and they practicing witchcraft, and they're practicing sorcery on you. That's why the judges wear black robes. That's why your preacher wears black robes. These people are all together. These so-called representatives that represent black people, they can't produce a black person. But they're part of the United States, which is a white supremacy terrorist organization, which transfers its police all around over to Israel, and Israel trains these people. These are the same people killing the Palestinian babies. And if they kill babies there, they'll kill babies here. That's why our women are having problems with birth and are dying. It's the same people with the same mentality. The police are trained by these devils, and these devils are instituted their platform into this whole society here. But like I said, these are foreigners, and we have an Article 77 of the Iroquois Confederation said that foreigners would be here temporarily, and then they will have to leave. And that's still the law to this day.
The time is up. You're saying the time is up?
Holy Quran say you believe in Allah, be tested. It's time to come forth and stand up.
That's right.
And speak with clearness, power, and authority.
That's right. And see, the more they do, the more that they'll go extinct. Because, see, they thought they were hurting everybody by having this so-called pure white race. But a recessive gene and another recessive gene, a female recessive gene and a male recessive gene, after so many generations, they cannot produce anymore. It's like a spent cartridge. And that's the reason why they're not having babies. They try to be so pure white. It's so pure white, but actually it's so pure Caucasian. But we put a mechanism inside of them that if they were to mix and keep mixing and keep mixing and keep trying to keep it pure white, they were not going to survive, and they will be going extinct. And that's written, so it's going to happen. But like I said, not all of them, because some of them are us that look like them.
But the melanin is the sun rays in you. We got sun rays in us.
That's right. The melanin is your gift from the Creator and from the universe. You know what happened in Chernobyl? Chernobyl, with all the radiation in Russia, when they blew up the nuclear plant over there, well, they went and they just tested everything, and melanin is growing over all the radiation. It's sucking and eating and destroying the radiation. That's how strong your melanin is. And they know it. And what they're going to try to do is take our melanin. When these people shooting each other, our young shooting each other, they're not only taking the organs, but they're taking the melanin, and they're trying to use it on themselves, but it still won't work because of the Neanderthal gene that's in them.
They have the like a melanin conference, I heard. Like,
yeah.
One of the biggest, like, we don't talk about it, but there's a gigantic, big, multi-billion-dollar conference that they study melanin.
Yeah,
and obviously they're all...
They believe that they can insert melanin into themselves, but it's not just the melanin. It's the spirituality of the whole thing. It's us being part of nature. You can be outside of nature and be an artificial person and shoot yourself up with all the drugs or whatever you want. That's still not going to make you a natural person. You can shoot yourself up with melanin. It's still not going to open the doors for you that you need to advance to your higher self. But we can do that. And the good thing about it is that nature is on our side, and they can't bribe nature like they bribe these old handkerchief-head politicians that so-called represent you. They don't represent you because they represent black people. And there's no such thing. When y'all say, oh, they're not doing anything for black people, they're not going to be able to have to do anything for black people because that's their creation. There's no such thing as black people.
Nowhere in the book of records.
It's nowhere in the book of records of humanity. So stop calling yourself black people, and anything they have as black on paper, sue these people. Sue them because it's never such person. Whenever they have something in court on and it has black on it, that's a lawsuit. Because there's no such black person. If they call you black, tell them to produce a black person.
Come correct your status. Come proclaim your nationality.
That's right.
Right here, 715 North King Street, Moorish Science Temple of America. Proclaim your nationality. You are Moorish American. If you believe you're colored, Negro, or black, without a doubt or contradiction, you are a Moorish American. Come proclaim your nationality. Right here, 715 North King Street, every Friday, 7 p.m. The God Hour will be here this Friday, 7 p.m. tomorrow. I'm happy we're live because now we're live. I can say, hey, here we are now. It's Thursday. Tomorrow is Friday, 7 p.m. If you're seeing this, please, inshallah, come see us, 715 North King Street, Wilmington, Delaware, Moor Culture Center. Proclaim your nationality. Islam. I just want to just throw that in there.
And if you don't, at least claim your indigenous tribe, because the tribes, they weren't tribes like they say. The tribes were nation. Each one had a constitution and each one had a flag. That's how they got their constitution, because we wrote it for them.
Let us come together, check one another. Nobody knows it all.
That's right.
A lot of us think we self-righteous and we got it all. We don't have it all. We got to come together and work this equation out.
That's
because,
right.
These people trying to make us a permanent underclass,
and these people are at war with us.
They look at us, so they can get ahead. That's why a lot of our towns were sank underwater We got it in our DNA. All we got to do is come together. Every time we get together, they don't like that, but their time's declared out.
And they thought they was erasing our history, but your history is in your DNA, so they can't erase your history. But you have to unlock your genetic blueprint and find out who you are. But listening to what they tell you, you think you're from Africa.
Yeah, because they say Ancestry.com, you're 30% African, and so Nigeria. Them countries didn't even exist 100 years ago.
Our country.
That's a big ripoff. In Africa, that was named after a Roman general called two of them, Scipio and Leo Africanus, who went to war against our ancestor was Hannibal during the Punic Wars.
That's right. And so America is the most ancient country. It was called Turtle Island. It's the most ancient country out of all the continents. Don't let them fool you, because they erased the history, but they didn't erase our DNA. And it's all stocked and written in your DNA. Your DNA, one strand of your DNA can hold over millions of gigabytes, as you call it, worth of information. So tap into self. Don't look outside yourself for somebody to help you or for God. God is the government ordinance department. Call him by his name, the true name. Call nature by what it is. And then you can unlock those doors and learn who self is. And then you'll know who the real creator is, okay? Because we created everything on this earth. We communicated with the plants through our DNA. That's why we knew which ones was poison and which ones was good for us. So tap back into your natural self. Quit looking outside yourself, because that's what they want you to do. Yeah. That's the Caucasian. They want you to look outside yourself or look at them and then try to see greatness. The only greatest thing on this earth was created was you, was melanin and our people. So stop looking outside yourself for help. Look and know thyself, inside thyself, and then your help will be right there. The only hand you're going to get is at the end of your arm. Okay? So start learning about self and doing your research and learning that the things, don't take our word for anything that we're saying, but tap into that research and find out for yourself who you are, where you came from, and stop letting other people tell you that.
The truth will reveal itself. Like if you do the knowledge,
the truth will reveal itself.
The truth will reveal itself, and we study here. If you want to come study with us, once again, Friday, Holy Temple meeting / study group. Come study. In the halls of knowledge right here, we have the knowledge. We're studying from all the books. No, we don't. And once again, you still do your own research. It's not about, we only have one book and you study from that book and all the answers are in that one book. Like that completely doesn't make any sense when there's millions and millions of books out there.
Millions of books. Millions, not just one book.
Study, and study yourself, like you said. You got to go inside.
That's right, because see, their schools are indoctrination centers, and they learn how to turn off your DNA. Your DNA is like a beacon. It's a light. So when someone give you the truth, then you just automatically wake up because you know what the truth is.
Once you turn the light on, they can't catch you.
And they can't turn it off
like
again.
Flash Gordon. They can't catch you.
That's right.
That's why they made Flash. They know what they were
You'll learn how to navigate through their systems, because their systems is corrupt. Everything they do is corrupt. They can't. You got to understand. We were sitting here waiting for them to change. We're singing Kumbaya and holding hands. It's their nature to be corrupt and to be the way they are. Remember what the Bible said. They steal, kill, and destroy. And then they steal your identity and claim that they're yours, that they are you. So remember that.
They tell the whole world that they us.
Their schools and churches know how to indoctrinate you.
They tell the whole world that they're us. And a lot of us is going around acting like Barbie, Ken, Midge, G.I. Joe, and G.I. Josephine.
Yeah. See, someone once told me that, a white guy had told me, he said a Caucasian rather, told me that, he said that our people, he said that everybody is trying to be like a Caucasian. You got the Spanish and everything. Even today, even with ICE raiding these people's houses, they still act the same way. They still think that they're better because they're closer to Caucasians in their mind, but they come from us. And if they knew, they run around here saying that, and like the Caucasian himself, he runs around calling us monkeys when the Neanderthal was a primate. It wasn't even a human
Can I
being.
ask you a question?
It wasn't even a humanoid.
Now, all right, so we got these people are psychiatrists and psychologists, et cetera, right? Ain't the move of ICE agents, ain't that psychopathic and mentally ill?
Yeah, that's a mental illness.
So how come they're not, where's all that professionals now?
Well, these people,
They're fraud.
they're frauds.
Mm-hmm.
These people, their whole thing is not human. The things they do is not human because they're not naturally connected to the earth or to the universe or anything else. So they know anything. They don't know anything but to act on instincts. And that's another thing what I wanted to talk to you about was the programs, the matrix. Remember the programs they was putting in? These people, they know no leadership. They know no scholar. The only way they can react is if you put a program in them. So when they say little dumb, ignorant shit like monkeys, excuse me for that language, calling us monkeys, tell them, cut all the hair off a monkey. Look at his lips. Look at his ears. Who do he really look like? The Neanderthal was a primate. You are the only natural human being on this earth. They are not 100% human. They're 20 to 25% Neanderthal.
When you shave all the hair, they look like Caucasians, don't they?
Yeah, they are. They are.
You notice that, Mom?
Look at how lips. Look at their lips. Look at the Caucasian lip. A slit.
And they pink too, ain't they?
Yeah, and well, they're the same color as the Caucasian and the
shave the
pig.
hair off, it's pink.
Yeah, it's not. He's like albino type
That's what
color.
I'm talking about.
Yeah, but no, pink is a pig.
No. What you think? What you think? My uncle said. He said they hurried up and shipped that on the police quick.
Yeah, but I know. That's why they call the police pigs. But
they said they got it off them and put it on the police.
I guess since they are the real original color people, I guess they do turn pink too. But when I see them,
pink with blue eyes.
Look at their ears. Look at the monkey's ears. Look at their lips. Look at the monkey's lips. You cut the hair off, the monkey looks black, but you cut brown. But when you cut the hair off, he looks just like them. If you sit one next to them, you couldn't tell the difference. They look like twins. So just remember, don't let the creation rule you. You're the creator that created these creations. We created these beings, all of them, all these other races and all these other nationalities we created. So remember, you're the greatest thing on this earth, and you will be great again. So just let nature handle its business, and you be there because they can't bribe nature like they bribe these politicians, and they can't kill nature like they're trying to block the sun. But it's not going to happen. So just know thyself so you can have this universal connection with the world and with the universe around you and with nature so that we can move forward and keep our legacy strong. And that's why I always say the woman, because the woman is the portal to come here. And you see, their woman's wounds are polluted. In this state here, they're having babies that are sterile. They're having babies that they're not being able to have babies. These people got these, what are they called? These clinics for fertility clinics all over the world. They're making a killing, especially across this country. They got them from California to New York.
Japan.
They got fertility clinics because they can't have babies. And when you see them, they'll shoot them up with all kinds of chemicals to make them have babies. And that's when you have these litters, when they have litters, and they have 10 triple bitlets and all this. That's litters. That's not humanity. Humanity is one at a time, or two at a time. You can have twins. But anything over that?
Japan want our men to come over there to have sex with
Well,
their
that's a
women.
rumor, but yeah.
That's a rumor.
But the only way any race will be able to go on in the future is deal with us because we have the melanin.
Of course. If you want to be, if you want to survive on this land, it's best to be natural.
Yeah, be natural. Yeah, you have to be natural.
And
So
to do that, you have to, get some seeds from the gods.
That's right.
The original man.
But these people have been our enemies, and they've been committing genocide since they came here. like I told you. And the Catholic Church was their biggest catalyst to get here with Isabel and Ferdinand.
Where'd they get all that power from? They ain't even from here.
That's right. Isabel and Ferdinand
Got to use logic.
brought
Critical thinking logic, right?
was the ones who sponsored the Mayflower trip with the Catholic Church. Okay, so it all started, the corruption, and the corruption started at the Council of Nicaea. That's when the corruption started. So remember who your enemies are.
It remain. It'll stay where it is.
And your enemies are trying to tell you who your God is, who your spirituality is, and what you should learn and should know. Don't ever let someone as mediocre as these people, unless children of a lesser God, tell you who you are, how great you are, or about your bloodline.
That's what it's one of the greatest things I remember hearing from El Hajj Malik El Shabazz when he says, he mentions like letting your children be raised by the enemy. It's like, what do you expect? Like, what do you expect to come of a nation when you're basically prisoners of war, and then your children are being raised by the colonizer or by the oppressor? What do you expect?
That's right.
We have to be real mindful. This is why I had dealt with custody, still dealing with custody issues with my daughter, and I made sure that I don't want her in public school, but because of joint custody and the mother having these rights, they're in public.
That's what happened to my children.
Yeah, and now I make sure I take her to school and pick her up every day.
They came at me like a beast.
Yeah,
with my children. I'm not going to explain everything what happened, but I pray that inshallah that we as brothers stand up and address the problem, because you can't proclaim to be so righteous and the people continually doing the same thing that they do to us. That's like we know religion. We have to know the law too.
Yeah, because they have no jurisdiction over you.
They don't have no jurisdiction.
These are foreigners on our land.
It's a sham.
It's a sham.
But
their whole DHS, what is it, DHS they get their children?
Delaware, that's the health. That's
Health and Human Services, right?
Yeah.
Department of Children, Youth, and their families.
What they're planning on is, what they use against you is that the birth certificate, when you sign that birth certificate, you're signing a contract, and you're actually signing your child over to the state.
Not only that, they're racketeering money. It got to stop. It got to stop for one reason, is that a lot of these members are lawyers are members of the bar. That's treason. They work for British accreditation registry. They don't have nothing to do. Well, that's why we have to know our rights. So if you go there as a black man and stuff like that, you say you black, right? They say you don't have. That's your status.
That's your status.
But if you go in there with a nationality and stuff, they're not going to treat you like that note, that birth certificate note. They got to respect your state.
And remember when you come,
your state, also your state of mind.
Remember
a lot of our people in messed up state of mind, that civil legal mortus, which is dead or black.
And remember when you come into this country, the first thing customs asks you, what do you have to declare?
Yeah.
They're asking you what your status is. That's what they're asking you. And you say nothing. I have nothing to declare. Then that's how they're getting jurisdiction over you when you come back into the country, because the contract breaks once you leave the country. People don't know that. When you come back and you're going through customs, they asking you, what do you have to declare? You declare who you are. You declare your nationality and your ancestry and your genealogy. And then that breaks all other contracts, future contracts going forward. So know that and know the law.
That's powerful, Mo.
That's deep.
We have to dive into that and figure out practical ways of how that should be used.
That's right.
Because you're saying we should just. I love that. Travel, come back, and now you come back a new man.
That's right.
Hey, you know what? I'm going to declare.
Yeah.
I'm declaring this.
That's right.
And now you're saying you're basically signing a new contract.
A new contract. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. A new contract with your terms and conditions, because any contract they submit to you, they try to strong arm you, coerce you into a contract, threaten you into a contract. But you don't have to contract with these people. They are foreigners. And the United States have no jurisdiction on the land of America. Always remember, when you go into their courts, make it specifically known that this occurred on the land.
Because their courtroom is a slave ship.
That's right. It's a ship.
That's why they call the paper documents.
Documents. That's right.
And then you birth a ship. That's why you send your birth certificate in it. So they look at you as cargo.
As cargo.
Enter the courtroom.
Wow.
And the birth certificate is a warehouse receipt.
Right. So they want to dock the cargo.
They want to dock the cargo.
And so if you look at the flag of the state of Delaware, you have a farmer with a shotgun and holding a slave ship in the harbor.
And the Article 9 of the UCC state, and the UCCs are the Uniform Commercial Codes because they had to find a uniform way to communicate with the contracts and commerce all around the world. The UCC states that Article 9 of the UCC states, if you create a document, that's yours. So if they create any documents, it's theirs. It has nothing to do with you. They lift up paper in court and say, is this you? And you say, yeah. You're just giving them jurisdiction and claiming that this paperwork is you, but it's not you because you're standing there. You say, no, that's not me. I'm standing right here.
And the gold fringes around the flag represents, it's a pirate's flag. It's under a military occupation.
That's a wartime flag.
Yeah, under military occupation. Read U.S. Code 5.
When you go into their courthouse, you see
5.
These flags, which aren't the American flag. The United States flag is not the American flag. When you see these flags, they have gold fringes. That's a wartime flag. That's showing you right there they're at war with us.
So I see it says U.S. Code 5 refers to Title 5 of the United States Code, which governs U.S. government organizations, employees, governing topics like civil service, employment, and ethics, but can also refer to the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution, protecting rights like self-incrimination and specific sections like 4 U.S. Code 5 about flag display.
That's it.
Yeah, flag display.
Uh-huh.
So it's talking about
just put U.S. Code. Put
use of flag by civilians. Of rules, customs, and definition. What is it saying? Okay. The following codification of existing rules and customs pertaining to display and use of the flag of the USA is established for the use of such civilians or civilian groups or organizations as may not be required to conform with regulations promulgated by one or more executive departments of the U.S. The flag of the USA for the purpose of the chapter shall be defined in sections 1 and 2.
And that flag has jurisdiction right here.
The flag of the U.S. shall be 13 horizontal stripes, alternate red and white, and the union of the flag shall be 48 stars, white in the blue fields.
10-10. That's the jurisdiction of the United States. Once you leave 10 miles outside Washington, D.C., you're in America, known as Turtle Island. And they have no jurisdiction.
In 1947, they added Code 2, which is the admission of a new state. So they added a star.
They taking stuff out of it. Put in.
They taking stuff out of everything.
Put U.S. Code 5, a military flag. Put that in.
U.S. Code 5 military.
And we don't blame all Caucasians for your ignorance.
Some of them don't know.
They indoctrinated you and made you ignorant. They never taught you the history of this country. They didn't teach you it was a government here when they came here. That's what's on the dollar bill. If you look, it's 2 governments. Their side, the United States side, and the sovereign side. The pyramid is the Great Seal. That's our seal and our government that was here for over 10,000 years.
Yep.
So you don't know the history either. So don't use just saying anything. When you hear these ignorant ass people saying things on the internet and everything, they can't prove anything they're saying. They're the most ignorant ass people on this planet.
The pyramid and that's our ancestors.
That's your ancestors. We went all around the world.
You know what you see in the pyramid too, Mo?
The reason pyramids are everywhere.
Circle 7.
The reason pyramids are everywhere is because everywhere we went, we built pyramids. Here in America, there was 2,300 pyramids before they knocked them down.
There's pyramids at the bottom of the ocean, right, Mo?
That's right. There's pyramids everywhere.
Yeah, Japan got a lot of pyramids in
There
Florida.
in California, there's Lake Pyramid Lake.
Under Lake Michigan, they got shrines and pyramids coming up. They said the Moors used to travel up there into Lemuria.
So you're
From
ancient
Lemuria
people.
into the Lake Michigan, though.
You're ancient people, so stop letting these people call you black, and challenge them when they call you black, because you don't know any black people and you don't know any white people. So
And when you talk truth,
challenge them with
them,
nature.
they'll run.
That's right.
They'll run when you talk the truth.
Truth
they
is
don't
their
like the truth.
kryptonite. Remember that. If you want to give them heartaches and heart attacks, give them truth and see how they swander. They can't stand in the light. The ones who stand in the light are woke, and they are people.
And there's a lot of us can't even stand the light.
And a lot of us can't
The
either.
truth is powerful.
Because we give you the truth, and you still go back like preachers and all this. We talk to them and we give them the truth. We show them Caesar Borgia. We show them the origins of their Christianity. And they still look at you like, yeah, yeah. And then they go back to the same old grift because you're giving them money and you're paying for your own genocide.
What about Israel, Mo?
That's right. And Israel is the same.
But the preachers.
Yeah, the preachers here, they go to Israel, they take them to Israel and they tell them what to preach. Just like your city county building in every state, after they give you a sermon on Sunday, they have to go and report to these Caucasians, these foreigners, what they preach to you in church that Sunday. So it's all grift, and they're all part of the same old corrupt system. So stop supporting these people.
Islam.
That's land.
Thank you for that, Mo. Thank you both. I know you said we're there, Mo. We got almost an hour and 20 minutes. You said you wanted to go an hour and 30.
Let's go.
The spirit brought us there.
That's right.
I before you said an hour and a half, I said, well, we'll see. And
So
here
going
we are.
back, that we know that the Crusades took on a new mass. We got to get on our posts
That's right.
Here we are.
because that means we're still at war, and they use the doctrine of discovery to enslave us. So they got all their institutions up to draw from our birth certificates. So we just had to learn how to study the law. We shouldn't have to be running to their lawyers when we get in problem. We got to know the law in order to save our people.
And you have to know treaty law and international law, because you are international people once you get out of that blackness, okay? Once you stop calling yourself black, void of light, void of anything. And they know this. That's why they want to keep you in this black box. Once you claim your nationality and who you are, you become under international law, because you then become an international person with other countries, international countries. So get away from that black thing. We can call each other black, but we can't let them call us black or put black on any kind of documents, because that's witchcraft and sorcery.
Yeah, by status, by legal status, we have to be real mindful of it. And it's a touchy subject, because obviously people like the Nation of Islam profess that and use it as a empowering term, and I've come to appreciate it on that level. And no different than Black Power. I mean, we've heard that Black Power.
I appreciate on that level, because I understand.
Well, when you saying
it's the way you express.
It's not a spell when we
it's
say
a contract. What he's saying.
Right.
Yeah, no, exactly.
He's saying
when it comes to legal status is when we have to be real mindful of.
Black,
I don't want it on my paperwork.
Black,
we can use it in our slang.
Black is the highest color spectrum.
That's right.
It gives that the most heat. Like they say, who's that original man, the Asiatic black man, God of the physical universe, cream of the planet Earth, the maker, the owner, cream of the planet Earth. We all come from that original man.
Hey, shout out to,
we don't have a birth record.
Professor Kaba Kameen. He was one of the first conscious brothers that I got a lot of knowledge from, and I read a book, Spirituality Before Religion, and he mentioned something that really blew my mind. And he's talking about light, and not to take away from the light, but what he says is the only thing that's faster than light is darkness, because that's there. That it was already there before light was there.
Never exists.
So you turn light on, darkness was already there.
Well, that's why the Holy. That's why
true.
And the Surah Baqarah said this is a book for those who fear Allah and believe in the unseen.
Islam.
Let's talk about that doctrine.
And that's
Yeah,
why you can't
spirituality.
go to any part of this planet, any land on this planet, and the first people were what they say black people. But like I said, they're the indigenous people.
The original
You
man.
can't find no land that Caucasians are indigenous to because they
No
weren't created
civilization.
like that. No civilization
They
that they created.
vagabonds.
Real quick.
That's right.
They come. They don't have no place to stay. They come where other people live and camouflage
And
stuff
mimic,
and
and
try
mimic.
to pretend that they're law.
And destroy. And so real quick, can we play it? Because the video you have, we already have a video on cue.
Oh,
And-
yeah.
And it does play into the vagabonds. It does play into the colonizers. We just want to highlight real quick some statistics and just their nature.
That's
So
right.
can we just play this real quick video? And this is, I'm gonna hear you guys' thoughts.
I want to just call out these hate mongers for a second, right? And use their tired, hateful talking points against them, right? They're saying, "Oh, look, it's the Muslim problem. You know, these Muslims, they can't
They can
integrate.
hardly
Oh,
hear
look,
them.
these Muslims, they can't assimilate. Oh, look, maybe we should stop Muslim immigration. Maybe we should earn birthright citizenship. Look at the Afghan national shooter. He was a Muslim. Look at these two Muslims." And then I want to say, okay, let me use your logic. And I just want to share this on your show, Joy, and to ask your community if they agree with me.
Put your mic closer.
Using the same logic, not all Muslims are extremists, but a few are, and we need a solution for these few people, like the war on terror and, of course, racial profiling and deportation. Well, the number one domestic terrorist in America is radical right-wing terrorism and white supremacist terrorism. The identity of the number one mass shooter in America is white men. 388 mass shootings in America this year. Australia's had 13 since 1996. The identity of the number one sexual offender of children, white men. The number one serial killer in America, white men. The person who tried to the two people who tried to assassinate Donald Trump, wait for it, white men. The person who's a suspect for killing Charlie Kirk, wait for it, another drum roll, white man. So, using your own logic, we got to find out what's happening in these white families. What is it about this white culture? Why are white men not being able to moderate? Why are white men not mainstream? Why are white men not assimilated? Why do white men hate American values? What is something happening in the white water that white men are drinking that is making them so violent? Now, obviously, Joy, you and I would never say this. We would not demonize all white people. We would not advocate racially profiling all white people. We would not ask for the deportation of white people because you and me are not sociopaths. And also because we're not cruel and we're not bigoted. But just notice that each and every single time it's a black shooter, a Muslim shooter, right? They get like these erections, like these small micro penis erections like Hitler, right? Then they take their horny goat weed in order to get themselves hard too soon. And then they usually swipe right on Grindr at their conferences. What? Too soon?
Never
Sorry. Let me just be petty for these people because they're so hateful, they're so disgusting, they're so weak, they're so pathetic, and they keep promoting this bullshit, and it's falling apart in real time because we see in real time that the number one domestic terror threat is white folks, and they don't do shit about it, right? And then you saw on my TED Talk, I promise, they were so frothing at the mouth, Joy, last night. Oh yes, 2 Muslim shooters. Let's do it. Let's talk about ending birthright citizenship. Let's increase the Islamophobia. Let's go against the Haitians and the Somalis and the Muslims and the Palestinians. Let's do it. Let's somehow rationalize the genocide against the Palestinian people. Let's crush the pro-Palestinian activists. You saw Brett Stevens in his shitty New York Times op-ed, right?
Mhm.
And then the hero, Ahmed al-Ahmed, 43-year-old Syrian Muslim who, without any training, without a gun, took out that man, took his gun, Joy, and you'll appreciate this. I think all people of color saw this. Didn't shoot the man.
That's right.
Heard the sirens, and being a person of color, did you see what he did?
He did
Oh,
put,
shit.
put his hands up. He said, "I'm not the
The
killer."
cops are coming. Oh shit!
He knew.
And what he knew, because you're not. I don't know if I talked about this. I've talked to Danielle, my co-host, about this. I've always thought, God forbid I'm in that situation, and I get to disarm a terrorist, and I have the gun. In America, you know what would happen if the cops come? They'd shoot you and me.
1,000.
And then they'd say, whoopsie.
They get shoot the guy
And
for
this man
disarming
did it
terrorists.
while being shot at.
If he
And he
would've
was
shot
shot
the gun.
twice.
Well, not shot at. Shot. Yeah, shot.
He was shot twice. And then also you were saying, did you know the 2 victims of the Brown shooting, right? One was a white Christian leader of the Republican movement. Her name was Ella. The other is Mukh Ahmed, I believe is his name, came here from Uzbekistan, a Muslim immigrant.
Yes.
Mass shootings affect all of our kids, regardless of ethnicity, religion. It is a disease. And the number one mass shooter in this country, I'm sorry, folks, facts are facts. I'm just asking questions.
Facts.
It's white men. So if they...
Wow. Well, there you have it. I just want to make sure we played that because, the media will have you thinking otherwise. They control the media and they'll make it seem like, the heathens are us.
And that's to their degeneracy right there.
Want to answer a couple comments?
Yeah. Well, we actually do have 2 comments, but really just 2, probably 2 more is just leaving some emojis, showing some love.
Thank you.
So yeah,
for all the love, everybody.
Push the agenda, and Jade Islam shout out. No real comments. They're just showing some love. But we do have some comments from before.
That's what I was saying.
And I know that one that because we were talking about
the next time.
We were talking about the creation of the Caucasian. So one comment from 3 weeks ago, a brother said, well, I don't know if his brother or not, says, all praise is due to the Most High Yaqub, father of the white devil. Somebody replied to that and said, stop lying, that's not true. Yaqub didn't create Europeans or the pale skin race.
We did.
Pay attention to the story of Cain and his brother Abel. It is there where you'll find the beginning of how the pale skin race came about. Yaqub's story is a lie.
And we know where he learned. He was indoctrinated. That these stories are their stories that they put together. But remember, there was 80 books that they left out of the Bible.
It was 88 books.
88 books. And see, they know what the truth is, but they can't tell you the truth because then they'll lose their so-called credibility in the world, basically. So they make up all these lies and make up any little thing just to forward their agenda. But these are the most mediocre, stupidest, ignorantest people on the planet. Not the ones who are woke, but the ones who think that their white supremacy is going to be something. That's going to deteriorate and go extinct just like their ancestors, the Neanderthal.
So the Yaqub story comes from my understanding, comes from Master Fard Muhammad, right, in the Nation of Islam. So I've heard some of these lessons. I haven't read them fully and 100%, but from what I've heard is that is where the right.
Yaqub was true, but Yaqub wasn't. What I wanted people to know is Yaqub wasn't the only scientist that was creating these things. It was the Garden of Eden was were laboratories that we had set up from the Yucatan Peninsula, from the Mississippi Delta, all the way to the Yucatan Peninsula, where the rainforest is. That's why we let the rainforest grow so strong that people couldn't get through there because of the experiments we was doing there. Wow. And that's where they were created. That's why they're not indigenous to any land. Actually, they're the first test tube babies, basically.
Islam.
That's why they're not indigenous to no land. You can't find one land that these people were indigenous to.
What about the Caucasus? They're not indigenous to the Caucasus Mountains?
No.
Okay.
We put them in the Caucasus Mountains because they were a menace to society. They were eating people like they eat our people today.
And then they used them knife and fork, when they was eating stuff to chop their hands off. They eat each other's hands.
Wow.
Well, yeah, but they'll eat you. Trust me. That Wrong Turn movie, that's what they do. They eat you. They eat people. So watch out, because if the supermarket's closed now, they're gonna start eating people. They're eating people now.
They might be serving people in supermarkets.
Yeah, they're
today.
serving people now because they're killing people every day. They're killing babies for the blood, and they're killing babies they eat babies. So these people are degenerate.
That's why your martial arts is real important.
These people are degenerate monsters.
Your self-defense, is very important.
Anytime you could think a person is make a person your slave, a human being. Mm-hmm. Make a human being, you're not human. Mm-hmm. You have no emotional connections with nature or with self. Yeah. So this is why these people do what they do, because they're not human.
Just off propaganda.
They are the biggest threat to humanity, okay? Mm-hmm. So that's why we have to unify and come together and each one teach one, but we got to use it
we
with
have
truth.
To save, we have to save the young children. A lot of us older people don't.
Truth
But
is your
We
sword.
really got to go after the young children.
We got to save our children because truth is the sword, and we have to let them know that these people are invaders and they're an occupying force on our land. So we have to teach them the truth, so they won't teach their children the lies.
Let's make sure we teach the truth by the title. I'm glad the title kind of helped guide this episode because it was coloreds, Christmas, and colonization. So I think we tied it up perfectly.
And colonization, that's what the United States of America is a colony.
Yeah,
Islam.
United States.
It's a colony for England.
It's not part of America.
And we need to know this, or otherwise you can get caught up in the sorcery.
England and the Vatican own Washington, D.C., Mo. And whoever's the Queen of England it's the head treasury, the high treasury of the Vatican.
And the Virgin Mary is Virginia and Maryland.
That's right. And we can stop these people by just being natural, going back to natural self.
Yeah, ignoring them and really focusing on ourselves.
Focus on ourselves.
Let's focus on ourselves. I mean, like we always make sure it's said, but there's no hate being professed or taught here. You can rewind all our videos. There's really no hate. There is times of there might be some times of frustration or anger, essentially at actions or at things that have happened, but there's no hate.
Truth is truth.
Truth is truth.
Educational purpose only.
And if you're mediocre, you're mediocre. I mean, we invented everything, we did everything, and they do everything they can to try to rewrite history and to try to make you think that we're the bad guys when the whole world know. The mass shooters, the number one pedophiles, the incest kings, it's these people.
Please, if you already told your children that they woke up today and you gave them some gifts and say it was given to them by some random fat white man, Caucasian man, please
pedophile.
Please do some correction. Please have a come to Black Jesus moment tonight and wake up tomorrow and teach your children the truth of, hey, we worked hard.
And keep your children.
We bought you these gifts, and
keep
not
your
come from any
children off
magical
that
man.
man's lap.
That's right.
That too, please.
And
please
remember,
don't put your children on some random man's lap. That is just crazy.
And gift your child anytime that they make an achievement. Let them know how great they are, how beautiful they are. And that not just one day. I remember Valentine's Day came, and my girl was expecting a gift for Valentine's Day. And I didn't get her anything. But the logic I told her was that I love you every day. I don't love you just because of this day is coming. They say, oh, today's Valentine's Day, so you got to love her today, just like Mother's Day. Mother's Day is every day. Not in the day. If a day has to be appointed to it, then you know it's some corruption involved.
For real.
And it's something outside of self.
For real. One demonstration I've been on is like New Year's, so I consider New Year's everybody has their own New Year's is my consideration. So on people's
Springtime.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, on people's quote unquote birthdays, the day they were born, I say Happy New Year's, and I consider that this is your New Year because it's your revolution on the sun.
Right,
this is your New Year, and the first really isn't. That's just an artificial, and it's surely not the New Year because it's in the middle of dead of winter.
Right,
it's the New Year.
It's the dead of winter.
Springtime is really the problem.
Yeah, March 20. What is it? March 21st is New Year's. That's the spring solstice. Like right now is the winter solstice. That's the spring solstice. You don't have a birthday. You have an earth day. The day you were manifested on this earth. It's a manifestation day, not a birthday. You birth a ship when you tie it to the dock. When you get up in the morning, when they used to kill slaves, our people, they would say, the slave master would say to the woman, did you have a good morning? Stop saying good morning because you're starting your day off with death, with doubt. Say grand rising. Stop using their terms because these are spells and sorcery, like I said. Stop putting it out in the universe. You are a great presence on this earth. So you say grand rising. Remember they say in school, you put your hand up and they say present. You're the present, and you can't be represented by anybody, not even a lawyer. A lawyer represents you. No, you are already present. So be yourself and know thyself.
We had to form our own team when it comes to, because they're practicing what you call administrative law. It's not law. We have to learn constitutional law and treaty laws about it. That's why we had to come together. We can teach each other.
That's right.
Nobody knows everything, but this is the day we must humble ourselves in order to save ourselves.
Islam.
Yeah, because we're going to take over this whole planet all over again because it's our destiny, and we were appointed to take care of the earth and take care of nature. And the most powerful energy in this universe is love. So we got to learn to love. Even those who don't look like us, we got to learn to love so we can break the cycle of hatred. Okay, so let's love one another and love others who are critical thinkers and who are woke into acknowledgement of what's going on. Knowledge means to know the ledger, know the past, know what your future is by denying the past to repeat itself.
Islam, and knowing the ledge so you don't fall off.
So you won't fall off.
Fall off.
Because you keep falling, you got to know the ledge. You got to know where the ledge is. You know what I mean? Because you'll fall what? And we told them that when we educated them, when they came out of Caucasus Mountains, that the world was flat. So if they went out on the ocean, they would fall off. That was so we could camouflage where America was, the Western Hemisphere, because they knew nothing about it. They knew nothing about it. And when they did come, we kicked them off. Like my people, the Susquehanna Indian, we had forts from Virginia all the way up to New York. We beat the British and we beat the French.
And they never defeated the Seminoles.
That's right. That's right.
Allahu Akbar. Islam. Islam. Final thoughts.
O Allah, grant us guidance. O Allah, give us a pious heart. O Allah, make us self-reliant. O Allah, make us dependent on none save thee. O Allah, lay not on us a burden as that did lay upon those who were before us. O Allah, lay not on us a burden that we have not the strength to bear. Forgive us our sins. Pour down on us a spirit of steadfastness and religion. Make firm our feet. Grant us thy protection against those who reject faith. Islam.
Islam.
Any final remarks, Brother Najee?
Yes. Universe, the creator of the whole universe, please forgive them because they know not what they do. And remember, those who lack knowledge will surely perish. Peace.
Peace. Thank you for that. Islam. Until next time, until next week, happy, holy days. Enjoy your time with your family. Please keep spreading the truth and don't lie to your children. Please don't lie to your children. Islam.
Yeah, don't lie to your children.